Hey, how you doing? This is Mike with MAB Sports Cars. This is Blaine with DGA. This is our second interview. How you been doing, man, since our last interview?
I've been doing pretty good, man. Can't complain.
Nice. I'm glad to have you back on. I know we talk here and there, but we never really get a chance to just sit and talk, and just go over a lot of things. But I know you wanted to get out a lot of new stuff that you have going on with the company, and you know, things that you got in the works that are about to, come to fruition. And I know you wanted to share those with some of the customers and any new people that might be searching for a grading company. And just let them know the new things you got going on, how the company's doing, and all that stuff. So I know since our last show, what have you seen business wise growing, stuff like that? Are you getting more submissions? Company doing good, still going strong?
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm trying to remember when the first interview was.
I want to say it's probably been close to a year,
That's
somewhere around there.
okay. That's probably about right. I mean, I know it's been a minute. Yeah. I mean, the thing that we've been mainly seeing is our customer base has been broadening. So before, in the beginning, obviously you have people that hear about you and they're subbing to a new company and trying to be supportive and things like that. The thing that we have noticed over time is that our customer base has definitely gotten wider. Um, so that has been a huge thing. Like I didn't want DJA to be, like 10 guys doing, 200 cards a month. I
Right.
want us to be able to serve. I mean, we love bulk subbers, obviously, but I want our customer base to have a variety of people that's like collectors, dealers, flippers, like whatever. Um, and so, yeah, the customer base has definitely grown a lot. Um, we do very well in Texas still, but that's one of the reasons probably because of the Allen show that we do. We're at every
Right.
one of those. But we're definitely picking up more customers across the country. Um, Illinois is obviously big because that's our backyard. And then in Texas, we have a lot of customers. We're definitely starting to see more customers on the East Coast and West Coast and kind of like little patchy places like, like we got customers in Kansas and New Mexico. And so, I mean, like it's starting to definitely grow.
Right.
Um, so that's been good. Yeah, it's been good.
Other than is the card shows where you get most of customers that come in contact and get to know you before they sub, or is it social media, anything like that? Where do you get most of them from? Is it card shows?
It's
You
mainly
know?
card shows.
Yeah.
It's mainly card shows. So social media, I'm not exactly the, that's not I guess my strong suit really is,
Yeah.
the Facebook group and Instagram and all those different platforms. The group has grown a little bit, but that's something that I need to look into having someone probably
Yeah. Get some
take that
moderators or
part
something.
over or teach
Yeah.
me like how to strengthen, like getting visibility out in the group. So definitely card shows is definitely the main place people get to see them and hold the holders and see the labels and they see examples of the report cards. They can see the transparency. They get to know me and my team because there's always an employee, at least one employee with me at a show. They get to ask us questions and feel like we actually listen to them and talk to them. And
Yeah.
so the card shows is definitely the biggest source of people getting to know us and do submissions.
Yeah. And that's how I met you guys, and that was what got me to grade with you guys, is just sitting there getting to talk with y'all for a little while. And even after the show, I think I talked with you through email a few times and stuff like that. And I mean,
Yeah.
you were real courteous and explained everything. And I just enjoyed my process with you going through all of it. And I've been a customer since. And like I was telling you before the show, I try to promote the company and all that stuff. And because I like what I see coming from you guys. And I know we were talking a little bit before the show. The whole report card stuff, that's something that you guys came out with first. And we do see other people saying that it's first and stuff like that. But it is it because you haven't been able to get out with the like social media presence and stuff to where other people know that you had it out there before a lot of other people?
I mean, that's probably an accurate statement. I mean, if you look at our group size versus some of the other grading companies out there, the ratio of our group size compared to them, might be 1 to 10.
Right.
And so, I mean, just when it comes to numbers, I mean, if your group is 700 people and someone else's is 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever, I mean, you got 10 times more people seeing that content. And so, I mean, it is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I put money into being able to have more services for customers. And so, yeah, growing the group has not been my forte, which that
Yeah.
is definitely what I'm trying to do next. But I mean, I do know that one of the things I thought about when I first launched the company is I wanted to grow it organically. And
Right.
because I remember when a company came out before us, like I think they launched maybe 2 months before we did, maybe 3 months. It was HGA. And when they launched, they were kind of the first of us, as far when I say us, other grading company owners that was
Like the newer
launching in
companies
like
coming out.
2021.
Yeah.
And, they had the new look, the new label, some customization, some color. And they blew up. I mean, there was a lot of people that was like, okay, here's a fresh look, like, everything else that was going on at the time. There was a desperate need for some newer grading companies just because at that time it didn't really it seemed like the other grading companies that everyone was using was overwhelmed, either between staffing or just the volume, sheer volume of just stuff that was coming in.
Yeah.
So the companies was just too much for them at the time. And so,
And this was all during the COVID outbreak
yeah,
stuff during
the
that
pandemic,
couple years of that.
yeah. So the fallout from all that, like, uh, and so when they launched, it was pretty quick that their name started getting out, and you heard about their waiting room for submissions would be maxed out, and people wouldn't even be able to get to sub. Like there was a weekly day where they allotted so many cards could be
Yeah, I was about to say,
submitted.
wasn't it like an allotment for each,
Yeah,
sub?
and so they were maxing out every week, and then next thing you know, they were just doing. I mean, I remember at one point that they were doing like 30,000 cards a week.
Yeah.
And although that sounds like a lot of money, which is great for a company, you obviously want profit, but I looked at it as a nightmare because
Yeah.
this
All the
isn't the first.
hours and stuff you gotta put.
Well, and so like I've seen over time in like various industries, companies that grow correctly and companies that grow and they have growing pains that they're not ready for. And the last thing that I wanted was for Dynamic Grading Authority to like launch and get, like, I don't know, a lot of attraction all of a sudden, and then we get overwhelmed. So I wanted to grow the company organically so that I didn't want to have a ton of visibility all over in all these groups besides our own. And then all of a sudden we get slammed with
And then not being able to
5,000
keep up with
cards.
the demand.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden our turnaround time is the same as everyone else's. And, when you're slammed like that beyond capacity, then you're going to possibly jeopardize your quality, which in the grading industry would be your consistency and accuracy in grading.
Right.
And I didn't want that to happen. I mean, sure, I wanted our doors to be getting hammered with cards, but I didn't want it to like create a problem that we then couldn't bounce back from. You know, like
Yeah.
I didn't want people to be like, oh, Dynamic Grading Authority, and like speak about us in the same breath as someone else that they were having issues with. So I was totally fine with growing things slower. So, but yeah, as of where we're at today, our capacity and things that we've grown since the inception. The one thing where I feel like I need some direction is how to grow the group more to get more visibility.
Right.
Other than that, man, I don't know. I feel like we are on point, and that what we're doing is exactly what we should be doing and how we should be doing it. But I could definitely take some
Have to get one of these young bucks social media
yeah. You know, some kid
influencers.
that's like 20 to come in here and like show me how to grow the group or whatever, or them do it.
Hey,
I don't know. Like,
I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm just, I know about the social. I know how to work some of it, but I'm just not, one, I'm busy all the time, and two, it's like just trying to figure out what all you need to do to get the exposure for everything on social
right.
media. It's, I'm not too, good in that area either. So
Hey man, I
I
can relate
understand completely.
I didn't even have an Instagram account until after I formed DGA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't have a whatnot, didn't have an Instagram. I think I had a Twitter but didn't use it. You know,
Yeah,
like
I have a Twitter. I never get on that thing, but
yeah. So
everybody else is on it, but I have one, but I'm never on the thing. So
yeah.
but
So yeah, that's where I think our gap is, or like our bottleneck is
just
social media.
exposure.
Yeah, we need someone to be like, hey, this is what you do. This is
Yeah,
how you do
because
it.
in today's age, I mean, everything that anybody knows anything about comes from the internet, so social media. So, yeah, that is something that would probably give a big boost once you get that going and everything.
Yeah.
As far as like the company still growing, organically wise, and obviously you're still in business, so things are still going okay. And once you when you've been out at the card shows, eBay, anything like that, are you seeing more of your slabs out there now? Like, is it getting to where you're like at a card show and you're walking around and you may see a dealer that has a bunch of your slabs out there, or, on eBay? Are you seeing more cards being listed up on there with the DGA, name on there and everything?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen an uptick in both. Obviously, the local card shows, it's our home, it's our backyard. So, we'll do a show here, and it's like, I mean, it's so like we just did a local show. I think it was 2 weekends ago. No, that's Super Bowl. 3 weekends ago, and I wasn't able to go to the bathroom until after noon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were slammed. So like, I mean, if you looked at it as like a game, we were the MVP. I mean, we had lines of
Hey, you
people
gotta feel good about
waiting.
that, though.
Oh, it was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
we had lines of people waiting for us, for over 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
I mean, people weren't having to wait 2 hours, but I mean, the line just kept having more people come to it.
Yeah.
It was over 2 hours before there was a break for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, it's not like that every show, but at that show, I'd say 25%, 30% of the dealers all had DGA slabs, and I didn't even know half of them, half the
Right.
people. And this is a town 10 minutes from where my building's at.
Oh, really?
I mean, so there were some dealers there that, are sitting there with 20 DGA slabs in their case, and I didn't even know who they were. I kind of felt bad. I remember talking to one of my friends there. I'm like, man, I don't even know who that guy is, but he's got some of our slabs.
Yeah.
And obviously that's going to happen. Like, I'm not going to every person's got a DGA slab, obviously. But the Dallas show or the Allen show, we do pretty good at. There's more and more dealers starting to use us from there. And they're having a lot easier time of selling slabs and less people asking who DGA is. Where before, before they'd be like, "Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?"
Yeah.
That was the feedback I'd get. And then all those dealers say that they hear that less now. They're not really getting offers anymore. The people are just paying the prices they have on their stickers.
Yeah.
But obviously, like in the big picture, there's a ton of dealers in Allen. That's a big show.
Oh
And
yeah,
so
definitely.
there's
One
still
of
a
the
lot of
biggest
room for
there is.
growth. There's still a lot of room for growth, but the customers that have us, or the customers we have, they enjoy their experience with us, and there are more of our slabs popping up on eBay. We see. I just talked to a representative from there a week ago. We're still trying to get them to put us in the drop-down menu
Oh, for like
with listed grading companies.
Yeah, when you're putting in all the extras for descriptions and all that. I got you.
Yeah. And that's been kind of a difficult process with them because, and I don't know why, but the first few times I spoke to eBay about it, they're like, "Oh, like you can't solicit us." I'm like, "I'm the owner of the company. Like, who are you supposed to ask for the info? Like, you want the info, I'm the one you got to talk to. That's not ego. That's just facts. Like, if you need to know like our EIN
I've seen something. Speaking of like voting or something like that, I've seen, I guess, My Slabs or something. They have like a vote on if there's companies that the customers want to add to their website or whatnot. I don't know how My Slabs work. I've never really used My Slabs, but I know I see some people posting about it. Like My Slabs has put up, a poll for customers to vote on what grading companies they want added, if any at all.
Right.
So I don't know. Is that how eBay does it? Do they kind of vote or?
I don't think that's what it is because, and this is no offense to any of the other grading companies that's out there, but there was a few. I think there was 3 grading companies that I've seen in the drop down menu that they launched after we did, and I'm not even sure if one of them's still in business.
Yeah,
and their names in the drop down. So I don't know if it's just who you get to talk to. But anyway, like the it's been submitted finally, so I think we're going to get put in there soon, but I'm not sure either. I just know that more people has been asking me about like, hey, when your name is going to get added. So the woman I talked to at eBay, I gave her like our Better Business Bureau number, and explained to her that we have a grade of an A. We have 0 complaints ever. We got nothing but positive reviews. We've been in business now almost 2 years. We have a legitimate website, electronic order entry, pop report, serial number lookup, and that they have eBay users that's like they want to list our slabs on eBay, and that they would do it easier if DGA was in the drop down menu. So the numbers have been growing. I know it's a long-winded.
Well, I know anytime I do list any DGA slabs on eBay, I just type it in the drop down box myself because it gives you the option to, put your own, and I'll write it out just like they have the other ones on there. I'll put the acronym, and then I'll put, the full name of your company, Dynamic Grading Authority, on there.
Right.
I do it exactly like the other one, so it looks like it came from the drop down box.
Yeah. So, that's something we're working on. But yeah, the number of slabs on eBay has definitely gone up. Everything has gone up. It's just probably not as fast as some of the other customers are hoping for. They want those comps to shoot up so they can, get a little bit closer value versus, another grading company.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're trying to do everything we can on our end.
Sorry about what was that?
I'm saying we're trying to do everything on our end to help, in whatever ways we can to help make that stuff happen.
Yeah. On speaking of other grading companies, I noticed in the group that on Facebook that you have, I'm a part of it, so I'll see, you know, a lot of the questions you'll ask and stuff like that. And one of the ones that I want to ask you about, just so you could, you know, explain it on here to other people, is you were saying a lot of people ask for feedback on crossovers, you know, like how your grading stacks
Oh
up
yeah,
to other grading like PSA or, you know, SGC, BGS, stuff like
yeah.
that. So I know what the answer of what you posted on there, but just so you can explain it so others hear from you, you know, of what you've been told from people that sub to you and then have cracked and sent to other companies.
Yeah. So actually, I mean, and I think, you know, there's probably some DJ fanboys that was kind of a little shocked when I asked that question, but with like me saying I wanted to hear positive success stories. Like I'm
Right.
all about a customer leaving a card in our slab, you know, believe me. But I also understand that for some people it's business,
Yeah.
and if they send in a monster to us and then see the grade that we give it and know how accurate we are, I could totally see why they'd be like, this thing's got a real shot at a 10 with so and so
Yeah.
and cracking it and sending it off. And I'd been getting feedback, you know, ever since the first stories I heard about people crossing. And one guy, you know, he had 3 big cards he'd had with us, and he cracked all 3 of them, sent all 3 to PSA, and all 3 came back 10s. And then he showed me them. And you know, I wasn't offended at all. I mean, I was happy for him because to
Yeah.
me, that made it. I felt like that was a success story to him to realize how accurate we are.
Yeah, exactly. It
And
just
then,
reinforces the fact that y'all are doing y'all's part and being accurate with the grading, and you know,
right.
so
And
somebody can
so,
compare it with another company, and it's
well,
either
then,
going to grade the same or higher, you know, because of how strict y'all are on your grading.
well,
And
so then we were at an Allen show, and one of our customers, you know, he is
is
very
he the one
blunt.
you took me to meet that one day?
That was the guy
The last show I was at?
about the 3 I just mentioned.
Oh, was that? Oh, okay.
That was that guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, and this other customer we have, um, he's very blunt, you know, and he's all about, you know, he's not a collector. He appreciates cards, but like he's all about buying and
Flipping.
selling, you know,
Yeah.
and making profit. And so he's, you know, he plays in some big pools. And so he graded some pretty big cards with us. And one of his uh, dealer friends at the show said, "What are you doing with that card and that company's holder?"
Right.
And so, and he's got, you know, this customer of ours, like I say, is very blunt, and he does not try and like wiggle or say like, oh, you know, like get defensive. He said, "Hey, this is why I'm graded with them." And so anyway, there was one was a 69 bench, and one was a Freddie Freeman finest X Fractor rookie auto, and
Okay.
then I can't remember the third card, but we gave the Freeman, I think it was 2 10s and 2 9.5s, and then a 10 on the auto. So it was a 9.5 overall. And then the bench, we gave a 9. And this is, mind you, this is a 69 bench. It's second year. And they got a pink back. And then I can't remember the third card was. But anyway, so this guy said to our customer, "Man, you really believe those grades?" And our customer said, "Yeah, I sure as hell do." And the guy says, "Okay, well, I'll test them out. I'm going to buy all 3 of these cards for me, and I'm going to take them." He took one to SGC, one to Beckett, and sent the other one out to PSA. And oh yeah, the other one was a Gretzky Opeachy rookie. And
Oh, Gretzky.
yeah, but the Opeachy. And so the guy took them all in, and the Freeman came back identical.
Oh,
down to
really?
the subgrade, down to every half point. They
What the
give it.
Freeman was BGS?
Yeah, he took
Yeah.
it to he took it to them. They gave it 2 9.5s and 2 10s and a 10 on the auto. I mean, down to the exact same subgrades, the same scores we give the card.
Yeah.
And the guy was blown away. He said, this is the only Freeman of this card in Beckett's pop report that's got a 10 on surface. He's like, no other one showed a 10 on surface. And which I don't even know how you can see their subgrades. I don't think that's in their. I don't think you can see their subs on in their system as a
Like
customer.
Like what the subgrades are when you look at the pop counts or something?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, you know what I mean. But I mean, anyway,
Yeah.
that's what. But all I knew is that the subgrades we gave the car was the exact same ones when he sent a picture of it in their slab, and so I was like, right on, man. Well, I'm glad it came back. The same as we graded. Good for you. And the bench, he was blown away on. He was like, man, I don't think that's going to come back better than an 8. I think they graded a little high on that one. And I explained to the guy, I said, look, man, it's simple. It's all about the card. It's not about this or that. It's about the defects listed on the card. I said, there's a tiny white corner on the back that you can see with the naked eye because the border's pink, or the back of the card's pink. We felt it was a 9 overall when after looking at all the subgrades.
Yeah.
And so when he got us back from SGC and was seeing the same grade, he couldn't believe it.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then, or no, I'm sorry. SGC gave it a half point different overall.
Higher or lower?
Lower. They gave it an 8.5.
Oh, 8.5.
And we gave it a 9. And that is the only card out of any card that we've ever heard that anyone's tried to cross, and from us to any other grading company that has ever came back with a different grade.
Yeah.
The only one. It
Yeah.
was the bench. Yeah, we gave it a 9. SUC gave it an 8.5. Every other card has came back identical or a half point higher, because there's been guys that sent 9.5s an hour holder off to PSA and they came back 10s.
Right.
And one of our customers messaged me a couple days ago. He says that he purposely looks for our 9s, 9.5s, and 10s on eBay to snag them up so you can crack them and send them.
Turn around, send them to PSA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he thought he was going to fit me, but I said, no, man. I said, we're accurate. So the report card shows our accuracy and transparency. And I said, that's a smart business move. If you're into it to try and flip and you think you can get a DGA 9.5 for, $30 and then crack it and send it and come back a 10, then you get like 100 or something. I was like, it makes
Yeah.
Like, I don't blame you. I
mean, during that time, you're still getting customers that are doing that. They're, I guess, using as a test to test out to see if they want to send it to PSA. But at the same time, that also helps your company too, because you're growing, because they're going to see that you are accurate, and then they'll share that with other people. Yeah, they're accurate. Great with them. You know what I mean? And eventually you're going to be up there too, where, like we were talking about comps and stuff, they'll start rising, to where they'll be around the same prices. Like I said, I've sold a few where they've been up around PSA comps, not they are superstars, so that helps out a lot, with the being, but yeah, I think they'll be picking up pretty quickly, once the word gets out and people seeing that, you can send a SGC, PSA, whatever, and you are accurate with the gradings just as the big guys are, and but within that too, with the grading accuracies, the report card, how you show what's wrong with the card and stuff like that. Not necessarily what's wrong with it, but what you found, if you found anything at all, it shows you, because I can bring it up here in a little bit on the website, because I can share the page, just to kind of show what the report card looks like for people that haven't. Actually, I'll go ahead and pull it up right now just to kind of bring that up. And for anybody that hasn't used DGA, you can go here to the serial card lookup if you do buy a slab or something. And I'll just type in one of my slab serial numbers so y'all can see it. 23014. This is a Pokemon card that I had graded that actually got a 10. And if you can see that, it shows let me pull this out to the side so I can see both screens. So right there, if you want to explain to them what's being shown on this page, you created it, so you know more about it.
Yeah, so I mean, what this is a collaboration of notes between the QC and the grader that looks at each card, because each so like this is going to have your centering, your corners, your edges, and your surface. But the centering, we put what the exact centering is. I mean, I can't see it from. Does that say 45-55 on the left to
Yeah,
right,
the left to right on front is 45-55. Back
top to
centering
bottom?
left to right 52-48. Front centering top to bottom 50-50, and same with back top to bottom 50-50.
Yeah. So we put in there the exact like measurements of your centering. Then that way, because sometimes people are like, oh, that looks way off centered. Some people are like, oh, that looks perfectly centered. And so right here, the math just speaks for itself. And then obviously, if a card subgrades a 10, then that means there was no defects identified.
Right.
So that's why you got 10 overalls, because your corner, you know, the 3 of your 4 subgrades were 10s with a 9.5.
And
So
on
it's a 10 overall.
with that grade right there, it got the overall grade of a 10, which through you guys, it's an exquisite. What is a full 10? Like if you have all 4 10s, I hear something. I haven't gotten one, so but I hear like is it called a black label? Is that what it is?
Yeah, exquisite black.
Exquisite black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
This
pretty.
one damn near got it.
And I tell you what, man, I mean, I would love to hand out 10s all day. You know, I honestly would, but if I'll go ahead and tell you the numbers in exquisite black. On average of what we see cards coming in, versus ones that are flawless, is about 1 in 900.
Yeah.
It is crazy. There is one manufacturer though that's not sports. It's a different genre. It's Weiss Schwartz. Like Weiss Schwartz manufactured cards is the best
Weiss Schwartz. Isn't
quality
that kind of
manufacturing I've
like
ever seen.
PCG cards, kind of something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy. I mean, there's obviously more, lots of people that sent those in now, but the first time that they came in, I had to so the grader sent me, hey man, this sub is insane. And he goes, there's like 5 black labels in here. And I was like, get out of here.
Oh, really?
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And so I oversaw it when they went through QC. And I was like, wow. I mean, I think I had to reject 1, but it was still a 10 overall.
Yeah.
But 4 of the 5 that were submitted from one of our graders to QC end up being exquisite blacks.
Wow.
And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, this is nuts, But we were thrilled, I was like, man, awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then the customer was so excited, he sent like another 20 in, got like 5 more.
Oh, really?
And I was like, this is
and
nuts.
Those are the Weiss Schwartz cards?
Yeah. And
what specifically do they do? Do they do different types, or is it one specific PCG?
They have Star Wars, they do Marvel.
Oh, okay.
They do I don't know what the exact genre is called, but it's usually girls, like anime girl looking stuff, like kind of
I got you. Yeah.
Dressed different.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. I get you.
Yeah.
I've been to the anime conventions. I see.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
But all the Weiss Schwartz manufactured cards have been being sent to us. I mean, the centering is, I'd say 90% of the cards are centered perfect on the front. Perfect
Yeah.
50-50 left to right, 50-50 top to bottom. 9 out of every 10.
Yeah.
And the edges, like you might see one chip on, and they're black bordered on the back.
Oh, really?
Most of them. You might see one chip on every 20 cards.
Wow.
And then the corners are almost always flawless. And the surface is the main thing, because the surface to me is like the main thing that you're just like blown away by some of the stuff manufactured today. But the surface on whoever manufactures those for Weiss Schwarz, like the different genres that they have,
Yeah.
is insane. I mean, it is. I mean, you start feeling weird when you're like, okay, a surface of a 10 on 10 straight cards of these. But then you'll look at one made by Topps or Panini or whoever else, and you're like, the last 20 didn't even get a 9.5 on the surface. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like riddled with print defects and
Hey, that's what I was gonna say.
dimples
Like
and
so many of them now, you got all these print lines, and or the little specks, ink
oh yeah,
blots, whatever.
yeah. I mean, and you're just like, man. So anyway, I don't remember what the original question was, but um, uh, yeah, exquisite black. There you go. Yeah,
Yeah, we're just going through the grades and
yeah. We just went
the
through a little
black
rabbit hole
labels.
there.
Now I know you put out some polls, what, maybe last week or something, in the Facebook group,
Yeah,
um, asking customers, group members about new slabs, that you were either investing in or you were wanting to invest in for the company to have more options and stuff like that. So you
yeah,
want to talk about those and just go over what you have in the works, or if it's came to fruition already, or whatnot.
yeah. No problem. So over time, we've obviously been asked about different size slabs from different people, asking if we got a booklet slab, or we're going to do the horizontal card slab, or um, different oddball sizes, thicknesses. And so we've had 10, for a while now, different ones we can do, oversize and
And y'all
nice,
already had
cracker jacks. And
y'all already had from the get go all the thicknesses already that you could.
well, we can do up to 240 point thick. We
Uh-huh.
can't do 360 yet.
Okay.
Um, but we will eventually. But we can do it to, I mean, 240 points, pretty thick, like
Yeah.
360s for like cleats and
Right.
hats and thick gloves or laces, like some of the stuff like Immaculate does, and
Exactly.
um
Yeah.
or like the bullion cards, ones that's got like a troy ounce of silver or gold in them.
Yeah.
Um those are about the only ones that's really 360 point thick. Other than that, 240 points pretty good. Like but yeah, we can do those. We've been able to do those for a while. The ones that we just added was for a snug fit for T206s, like rodeo meat, 33 Gaudis, and um, other different like oddball sizes in those ranges.
Do
But
the
now they'll all be snug. They won't float in a penny sleeve. Like they'll actually be
yeah,
like tip top.
do
Um,
the T206 sizes, do those, or I don't know if those would be the right ones, but do y'all have the ones that fit like the Allen and Ginter minis? You know what I'm saying? The little minis that you'll get in the Allen Ginter packs, tops.
those are the same size
They
as
are
the
the same size.
T206s. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then like the E90 caramels and Youngling ice cream, and a lot of like the vintage stuff, like those sizes are all pretty similar. So we can do those. And then um I went ahead and authorized for us to be able to have a slab made for snug fit for a horizontal booklet, and then a vertical booklet and then the horizontal slab, meaning like if your card's got a horizontal photo on it, you want the label on top instead of on the right. So all those have been authorized also.
Okay. Will that be a selection on your submission to where if you just want the regular label like it is now for the horizontal cards, and then there will be like a option to get the horizontal or top on the horizontal cards label?
It will be once those slabs are in house.
Okay.
Then there'll be an upgrade to the website to where that can be chosen in order entry.
Okay.
Because some guys are going to probably want the original style. Because the new style, that slab is more almost like a square.
Gotcha.
With the label on top. So if you got those guys that have their Zion slab cases and want everything to be in the same case,
Right.
they're going to want their original.
Now, is just kind of a so somebody can get a picture of it, or do those horizontal ones that you say are square type? Are they kind of like how I believe HGA has some like that, where they look kind of squarish?
Yep, pretty
It's
similar.
like that. Okay.
Yep.
And
Yeah, our dimensions might be a hair different than theirs were
yeah.
or are. I don't. Let me see what the exact dimensions are. So, like the exact dimensions for the horizontal, the exterior size is 110 millimeters, which is going to be, like, so if you're looking at the card, how it's orientated, where the picture is like left to right, the dimensions of the exterior part of the slab will be 110 millimeters, and then the height will be 100.5. And then the label, will be on top.
Okay.
So,
and do you have a timeline of about when that stuff will be ready to go for customers to look out for?
we should have the samples in about 30 days. And then at that point, after I approve the samples, then they'll go into full production run. And it'll be about another 4 weeks after that. So another 30 days after that. So we're looking like 2 months from about 4 days ago.
Yeah.
But we'll have samples that we can show in about a month.
Okay.
And so we'll show those in the group, put some on the website. We're really excited about the booklet slabs too, just because people have been complaining about booklet slabs floating, or some companies not even offering a slab big enough for a booklet. And so we ponied up for that.
When you say snug on the booklets, does that mean the slab's not like a magazine size slab or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. So the same size slab that we do for a tall boy, like a 69-70 basketball, is the same. Wait a minute, let me look. I think it's the same exterior dimensions for the vertical. Yeah, so the vertical booklet slab is the same exterior dimensions, which is like, let me see. I know not everyone knows metric, so it's 7 inches in height, and then by like 4 inches on width for the vertical booklet. The horizontal booklets are a little bit bigger because, they're just longer cards. Like the card itself is 183 millimeters. So those slabs will be an extra inch longer. So they'll be about 8 inches by 4. So they'll still be sizable slabs, but there's not going to be a ton of space wasted. Like when you see the booklet inside the slab and how it's perfectly laid in there within the notches, and then where the label's on the slab, people will be really, really happy. This is what they've been looking for this whole time.
Yeah.
So we're happy to bring those to the industry.
Now, as far as like the website, do you have anything in the works changing on the website or anything, but like pertaining to like the pop counts, anything like that, report cards, is because I know, does the QR code go to anything right now?
The QR code goes to the website.
It goes to the website.
Yeah, the QR code does not go to the pop report or the report card yet.
Okay.
The version 3 upgrade is what the website is what we're working on right now, or like in discussion with. That is part of version 3, is to see if the QR code can go straight to the report card.
Oh, okay.
We at least wanted the QR code to go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise there's no point for it. But yeah, so right now it goes to the website, but yeah, the future upgrade would be for it to go to the report card.
Okay.
Right now, we're going to add some new tabs to the website. One's going to have our grading scale on there, where some people know it, but like it'll have the exact grading scale on there, so you can look and see. Then there'll be like examples of exquisite blacks and talking about autograph grading, and a little more user friendly on some of the order entry stuff, which the order entry is pretty user friendly. But then like we're going to have it to where when someone wants to print the report card off, there'll be a PDF that automatically puts it on one page, so you don't have to shrink it down to 70%. There'll be a min grade option to enter on the website. Like right now, people just like have to email us and let us know that they want a min grade and what their grade would be.
Right.
That'll be an option on the electronic order entry where you can put min grade, yes, and then like you don't want to be below an 8 or whatever, you can put that in there.
Yeah. Now, speaking of that, before you run on anything else, I had a little incident the other day that you called me on. Is there any way to, because if you're an idiot like me, don't do everything prior to making payments and stuff like that. I had the Griffey card that you called me about, that EX one. You asked me if I knew, about the damage on the surface, and I didn't when I submitted the payment and everything. When I was looking through it, I didn't notice it. I really didn't. And then as I was giving it that final wipe down before I was gonna, throw them in the, mail, I noticed it. And then I was like, well, dang it, I already paid, and all that. So I was like, I don't, and I didn't really want to bother you. It was a weekend, so I didn't really want to bother you while I was doing that. So I was like, oh well, it's a Griffey, I'll just take whatever, and I know I could have probably emailed you and just said, hey, if it gets a bad grade, don't slab it. But speaking on your customer service, I mean, you gave me a call. You called me, you said, hey, just got a question for you right quick, go over your submission that came in. And you told me, hey, do you want us to just PC slab it, or do you just not want to grade it at all? Just send it back. And I was like, hey, just go ahead, throw it in a PC slab. It's Griffey, whatever, put it in there.
Right.
And I appreciated that, just that just speaks of your customer service too. So, that you're willing to, go out of your way just to make sure that your customers are taken care of.
Hey man, you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's probably why sometimes I work a little lengthier hours than some owners probably do. But I mean, to me, the customer service is the main thing, man. Like, and I get that. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I do that for every single customer that comes through here and every single card. But there's been many times where we've done that because people miss things, man. I mean, I know a guy that every time he sends in about 100 cards, and he's been grading for a lot of years and sends off. He grades with us and a few other companies, and I mean, he probably sends out about 800 cards a month total between all of us.
Wow.
And but he misses stuff. Like there was once a card came in, and I think it was out of Obsidian basketball, and the card. I mean, let's see if I got a sample card here. Yeah, okay. So the card, how it's 2 layers, You know what I mean? Like front and back on the base on most cards.
Yeah.
So there was a big hole from here to where the front layer and the back of the card were not even stuck together. You could stick a pencil through the card.
Oh, really?
And I sent him a picture, man. I said, dude, how'd you not see this? I
Yeah.
was like, you can do a hula hoop with this card. And I mean, sometimes people just miss things, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, it's just common courtesy, I think. Now I can understand why some of these other grading companies don't do that, like especially if they get 50,000 cards a month or something. They don't have time to do all that, but I don't know. I think that's important. And
Yeah.
then so what we ended up doing, I mean, you ain't seen it yet because it ain't back to you yet, but wait till you see what we did with that Griffey.
Oh, I can't wait because I was like, you're
Wait
like,
till you
hey,
see the label.
it's Griffey. If you want, we'll throw in a slab and custom design it and everything for you. That way, if I did want to sell it, at least it looks good.
I'll tell you
get
what,
a little bit more for it. So I'm
it is
excited.
going to be the slickest looking Griffey EX.
Nice.
Well, as far as the label to go with it, we put a clear label in a custom.
Oh,
I made
nice.
it custom, so it's going to go with that acetate with that EX design. It looks filthy. I mean, it's awesome.
Because the card itself, I mean, without noticing that little blemish on it, but I mean, those cards are dope.
Yeah, man, people love those old school EX cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of like turn a front upside down. Like the surface was going to be a 4.
Yeah.
So now being a PC holder, it's still authenticated, still got serial numbers, just no grades, but it's gonna look sick for you guys. It's a Griffey collector.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, I can't wait to see it because I mean, like I said, I do collect Griffey, so he's one of the ones that I try to keep with me. So that's why I was like, yeah, just go ahead, PC slap it. So
yeah,
I can't wait to see it. Just if you wanted to speak on that too, the PC service, because a lot of people may not even know you do PC service. Because a lot of grading companies don't do that. So
there's a lot of people that don't know that we do. I think us and HGA, I think, are the only ones that do PC slabs.
Really?
I'm pretty sure, unless there's one of these newer companies out, maybe that might be doing it now. But yeah, I mean, so PC service option is your card still goes through authentication. It still gets a label with the player info and card info, and still gets encapsulated. The only difference is it just doesn't have the grades on there. There's just the card just isn't graded, but it does go through authentication. So, it's just more for a little bit more affordable service. The turnaround time is only 15 days instead of 25, and you can still get. I mean, we got one guy that he'll literally bring us at least 10, 20 cards a month just for PC because he's like, well, I'm going to spend money on a top loader anyway, or a one touch. Like, he's like, I might as well pony up for something that's like watertight, ultrasonic welded that is water resistant, with a label and all this other stuff. He's like, a few more bucks,
Yeah, especially if it's your PC stuff that you just,
yeah,
you're not going to get rid of it anyway. You want to protect it. So,
yeah,
I get it.
So, yeah, we like having that service.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty nice because this will be the first one I have coming back as a PC option. I know I know I've gotten some cards where I've gotten like 7.5 on them and stuff like that. I mean, most of them are usually PC stuff, so I don't really care anyway if it is. A lot of times I'll just go ahead and get it graded just to have it in my PC. But if there's one that might get like a super low grade, like the Griffey or something, then yeah, that's an option that I may tell you. Yeah, if you ever see any like that I miss, just go ahead and throw them in a PC slab. So,
yep.
On that, as far as you're going to be at the Dallas Card Show here in March. What is it, March 9th through 12th? Something like that?
I think it's the 10th to the 12th. Yeah, we'll be there.
Okay.
For sure.
For anybody like in the groups, people that are going to be at the card show, anything like that, you have any kind of specials or anything going on?
Yeah.
At the card show?
Anyone that drops a submission off at the show, it's only going to be $10 per card for 25 calendar day grading.
Okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
then I know you called me one day, well, maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that, uh, talking about this collector that you want to do an interview with. You want to kind of
Yeah.
tease that or something? Because I know it sounded really interesting to me. So I don't know if you
We'll
want to kind of put that
we'll
out
we'll
there.
touch on it. We'll leave a little surprise because the guy wants to do an interview between you and me both.
Uh-huh.
Like, so a three-way podcast or whatever you call it. Uh
Right.
yeah, me showing my intelligence there on whatever the correct terminology is. So yeah, we got this new customer. He met us at the last show, the last Dallas show, and um he gave me a shout actually at the end of the show, like show was already over, and was asking me about bulk pricing, and he came by our table and he wanted a sample that we had there on the table, and it was a Tom Brady Sports Illustrated for Kids rookie.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's not his actual rookie year, but it's called Brady's Sports Illustrated for Kids rookie. It's like '02.
Yeah.
And so it was a sample slab that was laying there, and he wanted it. And he really liked it a lot, liked the label, liked the quality of the welds, and the like weight of the slab, and so yeah, he contacted me and asked like what's the bulk pricing, and then started asking what various holder sizes we had, and if we could do, like 52 tops and 49 Bowman and 33s, and then he asked about T206s and stuff, and so anyway, like next thing you know, he's like, oh man, I want to start using you guys.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I get calls like that every day, emails every day of people talking about they want to use us and send some stuff in, which is cool. But then he kind of came with a little bit more. He started like sending me pictures of cards that he already had slabbed
Uh-huh.
from reputable companies, like multiple Cobbs and Ruths
Oh
and
wow.
Ted Williams in a 5 and um some other ones. Like I won't tell too much, like we'll save it for the next when
Yeah.
we sit down with him. But I mean, he sent me the photos he was sending me of cards were taking my breath away. As a
Wow.
guy who's been in the hobby for a few decades, and there was no shiny stuff, no. The newest card
Oh,
he had was a
vintage.
Ricky Henderson rookie. That was his newest card.
Which one?
A Ricky Henderson rookie.
Oh, Ricky Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah, that was his newest card. And that was newest by like 21 years. Like his
Oh wow.
next newest card was 61,
Uh-huh.
61 tops, So most of his stuff was you know, um 1909 through like early 50s.
So a lot of the tobacco cards and stuff like that. And
Oh yeah,
yeah.
tobacco, rodeo meats, like play ball, diamond stars, Goudies,
Was it
like,
all? Is it pretty much baseball? Is that what he collected? Was
oh yeah,
baseball? Yeah.
yeah, mainly baseball. He's got quite a story, which we'll get into when we interview him. But long story short is, then he shows me a 52 tops mantle that's already slabbed, and he's like, man, I really like the direction, like where you're trying to take this company. I like your vision. Like I would love to send a lot of this stuff to you. And I thought he was just talking about his raw stuff, And I was like, all right, right on, that's great to hear, blah blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what about if I send you this mantle? And I said, the one that's already slabbed by so and so. He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I don't know why you would do that. No offense against my company. And I was like, but and I just kind of speechless. And he's like,
Yeah.
well, he's like, maybe you could take a picture of it after you guys slab it and put it on your website. And he's like, some of these cobs and some of these other ones, I'll send to you and you guys can crack and grade them. And I was just like, man, I mean, yeah, like just, it was a hell of a compliment and made me feel, I mean, it's kind of hard not to feel good about that when someone tells you that they believe in what you're doing enough to like literally take a loss on some of the value as far as the industry might say.
That's he didn't awesome look to hear, though. Like,
yeah, he didn't look as that he would be losing value. I mean, this guy is a collector. He does sell some cards, here and there, but he was just purely looking at his, I don't know, there's something he wanted to do, and said he wanted to support us and have some pictures of some of his slabs on our website, and wants to do some interviews and tell a story on like how. So like he sold a shoeless Joe Jackson, 1909 E90 caramel at the Allen show for like $35,000.
Oh wow!
And then he had a 33 Ruth. And then like 2 days later, he sold a Clemente rookie in an 8. An 8 of a 55 Clemente.
Yeah.
That's a tall card right there. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
And so, so he's got some monsters, and he was, I don't know, he's excited. He just wants to. I don't know. It's funny. I mean, it blew me away a couple times. So we're excited. So he sent a submission in already. And man, it was whoo! I mean,
were any of it the slabbed ones already, or?
Oh yeah, there was over 20 manuals in there already graded, already
really?
slabbed. Yeah,
wow.
Including. I mean, he had there's a 64 Venezuelan mantle, 256, some oddball stuff like 60 Bazooka and 64 Sports Illustrated. And these are all manuals. And then 58s, 59s, 57s, 257s. All of them are already graded.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking ones. Like the average, the average is like 4s and 5s and 6s of these cards. Yeah. And you're not gonna be able to retire on those, but when you got 20 of them,
they still worth a pretty penny though. So.
Yeah, and your 56s are coming out 5s and 6s. I mean, that's a decent chunk, and that was just like one chunk. Then there was a 1950 Jackie that was autographed.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I mean, that's fun stuff to see, and then this is his first submission.
Yeah.
First submission, he sent in 108 cards. Wow. And some stuff that was just awesome, like 5 Grover Clevelands and what else? The Satchel rookie that was, I think I don't remember if it's a 5 or a 6, but that's a pretty good grade for a 1953 Satchel Page.
You over there sweating, holding all of them?
Oh man, I was just like, there we go. And we've got all those cards in before. I don't think we hadn't seen the 64 Venezuelan mantle, but we've had all those other mantles come through here and a lot of those other cards, but not typically from the same person on one sub. They send you a box where their test sub is, $30,000. Like that's his test sub. About $30,000 in cards. And I'm like, there you go. Yeah.
Most people's test sub would be sending maybe a couple card, a 5-card sub or something, for a test.
Yeah.
But that's one hell of a test sub right there.
But I'll tell you what, and so he's getting his submission back next Saturday.
No. Let me ask you that. You don't have to share it, if you want to save that for whatever, but just out of curiosity, being that it's a vintage collector, like that, and
Yeah.
an older fella. How is he into the custom designs, or does he want kind of the original look, or is he into wanting like custom designs?
The only thing he wants is he wants his name on the label, saying like his name and then the word collection after it.
Okay.
That's the only
he want
thing
that on the
special.
front, like where you would put the, card name and grades
Yeah,
and
so
stuff?
we'll have the player and then the card info, and right below that it'll say his name with the
Yeah.
word collection after it. And that's the only thing he wants. He does not want anything custom.
That's cool.
No color matching.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the whole time
No.
you're telling me, and even when you called me about it, it's just something that I've been thinking about lately. And it's just, out of curiosity in my own head, I'm like, I wonder if he is gonna want just your original label. Like, what is it, like the white gloss label? Those are the ones
white.
I love. I love the white gloss labels. So
white label, B1 or B1 design. Duh, that's an in-house term. It's a black border design on white.
Black border on white.
Yeah, that's all he wants.
Okay, yeah,
Which, if he wanted custom, I'd have to be like, look, man.
Yeah.
We can do what you want, but it's gonna be looking really weird on a 1964
on the vintage
Venezuelan
cards.
Manor.
Yeah, that was something I was just like, I wonder if he, is trying to throw some custom labels on those vintage cars.
No, but you know what? I tell you what. So we've got some requests here and there. Like a guy sent in. Well, I don't want to say too much, but it was vintage. Okay, early 70s, and we've had people want cracked ice labels. We've had people want clear labels.
Oh,
we've
really?
had people want, but I mean, if it's what they want, it's what they want.
Yeah.
It's just some of it looks a little different. One guy wanted holographic on like 71 tops Nolan Ryan. I was like,
yeah.
Is this a typo?
Yeah, I've had, for me, the white gloss because I've tried some the holographic. I think I have a couple cracked ice ones on my first couple of subs. Like I did, a few different things.
Yeah.
But then I did one. I think one of them on one of my first subs, I did one card with the white gloss. Or no, actually, it was one of the, somebody that subbed through me. They got theirs with the white gloss. And when they came back, I was looking, I was like, oh, that looks clean. Like, I don't know, that white gloss, it looks clean. And so I've been doing white gloss ever since. And that's just, I actually have some laying right here. The recent sub you sent in, just
yeah.
I
the
mean,
white is
the white gloss.
clean.
Just, I don't know how good you can see it in the video, but I mean, that white gloss pops. It's clean on there. I really love it. Yeah. So that's all I select now. Anytime I put it on there, white gloss.
Yeah, the white is super clean.
Yeah, and it goes with everything. At least in my opinion, it goes with everything.
Yeah. I'll tell you. I mean, obviously like different labels for different cards. I mean, I really love. I'm a sucker for clear. If it's like custom, so like if a guy sends a submission in and he's got some acetate cards and it says let DGA choose.
Yeah,
I'm putting in clear
and
I'm putting in custom.
Yeah,
for the label department to do, because they're just, man, they look cool,
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, white is definitely the staple. Like, should be. It looks good with anything. So
yeah, I like it. That's from the moment I seen it. I hadn't looked at his cards yet. I just had them in the the foam, and I was gonna give them to him, and he was opening them up, and then he pulled them out and showed. I was like, oh, that white looks clean because I hadn't tried it yet. The white, and I said, I think I'm gonna have to start getting those now, and I haven't turned back since.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. I mean, if you got anything else, I know we've been on here for about a little over an hour. If you got anything else you want to throw out there or talk about right quick,
I don't
I
think
forgot
it. I
to
mean,
mention anything.
we kind of covered a lot of ground. I think that's probably enough for this episode. We'll just have to do another.
And just for anybody that's wondering, when were you saying that that interview with the collector we just spoke about would be taking place?
Well, so I am going down there to meet him in person next Saturday.
Okay, next Saturday.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to him then. He's in his 70s and he doesn't know how to do, like what we're doing right now. So I'm going to have to teach him how to do it. So then that way we can then set up the interview time. So I don't know. More will be revealed. Probably March or probably April, maybe late March. I don't know.
Okay.
I got to see like how quickly he adapts to me showing him how to do this, which it's really easy, but he's like, I mean, you'll hear him. It's funny to listen to him talk when he explains.
I'm excited after talking to you, just like, because I love listening to people's stories, especially like in the hobby, the back in the day and stuff like that, how they, because how cards were back in the day, people sticking stuff in bicycle spokes and all that stuff, and just I love hearing the stories.
To give you a little background, so the first cards he ever acquired, and he'll tell you this, was 1959 Topps cards. And he still owns them.
Oh wow!
He got them on the playground when he was a kid.
Yeah.
So what? 1959. Now it's 2023.
Long time ago.
So 64 years ago. He still has those two cards. And he has got some stories, man. Ask him about Satchel Paige.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean, it's fun to listen to him. It's always interesting to hear like history of like how some people got into the hobby or how they got like a certain card or like people they've met. Like, I mean, he's got lots of stories of like athletes he's met. It has obviously been a big passion of his for his whole life. And so it'll be fun, like getting to talk to him. He wants to do like multiple interviews, and so we're going to put, after we're done with it, we'll put it on the website, and I'm making a tab on the website showing his name and the collection, and it'll have pictures of his slabs, and he'll have a little tidbit on there like, oh, I acquired this card, blah, 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 at this time. This is how it happened. And
kind of like so random facts about, the cards and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that would be cool. So, and it's, I mean, we like hearing that stuff, so like Carl Miller, man, that guy, sweetheart, man. I love Carl Miller. That dude, literally.
What's up, Carl?
If you're listening, Carl, man, one of my favorites, man.
Yeah.
And I hope no one like takes offense to that. Like, oh, why didn't he shout out my name?
Right.
Larry T, Greg Whitaker, Rich Swore, there's some other guys like. I mean, they have been using us since the weekend I launched DGA.
Yeah.
Mason Woods, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and use this as a shout out session, but like, I mean, I totally could, but like Mason, like Carl Miller, Greg, Rich, and Larry, and then Mason, and there's other guys too. Ever since the weekend I launched DGA at a Dallas show, about almost 2 years ago. July will be 2 years. These guys send in, every 1 to 2 months, if not every month. And, like give you good feedback and are all about like trying to support, a newer company and loving, like looking past the comp sometimes, but loving the customer service and the turnaround time and, how easy it is to work with everything. And
that's the same with me too. Like when I met y'all at the show, like that, it's been over a year, maybe a year and a half since I met y'all at the show. And I mean, I've been with y'all ever since, grading with you guys. And that was the biggest thing, customer service and just, getting to know you guys at the show and everything like that. And it's just, it's, I haven't wanted to go anywhere else, so I know where they're coming from as far as, just wanting you guys to succeed and all that stuff. So, and I like putting y'all's name out there and having an interview with you. I'll talk with you, and I'll send my cars to y'all regardless. That's
and man, I appreciate it. And that's how, I mean, I understand that like some grading company owners can't do this and whatever, that's totally like up to them. But like I like getting to know customers and I like being able to sit down and so like my girlfriend earlier, like she was she knew that I had this to like do with you today. And I mean she cracks up, because I think so she was here this morning at the facility and she was in my office and she was asking me a question about some cards. She don't know anything about cards, but she's actually learned a little bit.
Yeah.
She ain't gonna go buy a card or anything, but like she's getting interested and asking questions and stuff. And so she asked me something and I was like, oh yeah, it's got Grant Hill on there. And then she just turned and looked at me like, how did you know that?
Yeah, that's my wife too.
Yeah, it was like I did something like magical for a moment. And she was like, how did you? And then she's like, man, you're just such a big nerd. Like nerd
same here, because my wife and my daughter, they'll ask me, because I can just look at the card and tell you what year it is, what parallel pretty much, and they're just like, how do you even know all that stuff? Like this is
well, what was funny is I had to confess to her. I said, oh, I was just standing over there a minute ago and noticed over your shoulder you looking at a Grant Hill card. So I was like, but anyway, I mean, she just cracked up, she's like, wait a minute. So on Saturday night, you and this one of your, like a guy that's a customer of your guys,
another nerd buddy,
are gonna do a podcast on a Saturday night. And I was like, yeah,
that's our fun, man.
She was like, okay, that's weird, or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, stay out of trouble that way.
Yeah. But it's fun, it cracks me up. And then she like was happy a couple nights ago or a couple days ago. I took like the day off, like during a weekday.
Yeah.
And I thought she was like blown away. And just because she knows, like, man, I mean, this is my life, like,
yeah.
My buddies know it's my life. She knows it's my life. My dad knows it's my life. Like, it's fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather be doing this than any previous job I've ever had. Like, it's just fun,
Now, this isn't my job. I wish it was my job where I did it full time. But, if I ain't at work, other than spending time with my family and stuff, this is what I'm doing. I'm sitting here, messing with my cars, going through, getting stuff ready for submission, doing auctions on Facebook, eBay, stuff like that. That's just, going to card shows. That's my fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. So
hey man, cardboard nerds, but I mean, I'll tell you what, there's some hefty cardboard out there. So if I feel like I'm getting too nerdy, I'll just say the word investment to her. Yeah. I'm like, it's an investment.
Yeah. Invest now.
Yeah. Like some people buy houses or cars or gold. Like these guys buy cardboard.
Yeah. And
I mean, those cards that sell for millions of dollars,
Yeah, exactly. I've seen some where I'm just like, some of them blow me away, like especially some of the newer stuff, how expensive it's going for, and I'm like, it just blows me away how some of these cards of unproven players and stuff like that can go for
scary money,
thousands, not even tens of thousands of dollars. And whenever you got legends, Hall of Famers, stuff like that, that not even 10% of what that's selling for. Yeah,
I
I
know.
don't know. It blows me away, especially with the extreme. It seems like mass production now, and I just don't understand how they go that high.
It is
these days.
It is weird, like that you'll see a LaMelo Ball, National Treasures RPA or whatever, sell for more money than the most expensive Larry Bird card on the planet.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if you go through Larry Bird's entire catalog of cards that's ever been made, other than the rookie of him and Magic with Irving on it being a 10, like any other card, any other grade would not even compare to value of like, something like that. And like a LaMelo National Treasures RPA. It's like, and sometimes you just like, are you serious?
Yeah. And even some of the, like, I get a LeBron being, way up there. He's the biggest name in basketball right now, maybe sports, but it just blows me away how, like, even Luka, I love Luka. I think he's superstar and is gonna be for a while, but just how already they're that. I mean, how are they gonna be 10 times that 10 years from now? It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
his
know.
rookie year was 2018.
Yeah,
5 years in, and he's already
over a million. Yeah,
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But it's one of the things in the hobby too. It's kind of fun. But it is weird, some of the stuff like you'll see, like a Pete Maravich rookie in a 6 or something, and you're like really admiring that card.
Yeah.
But then like an auto of some kid that hadn't even played yet in the NBA might be worth 10 times that. You're like, are you serious?
Yeah.
That's a joke.
I see it from a sense because we're a little bit older, so we actually seen them other people play, and we knew the legend of them and all that stuff. A lot of these new collectors and stuff, they go after what they know, So and they got more money to spend nowadays.
And I get that.
It seems like it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's always fun talking with you, and I can't wait to do the interview with the vintage guy. I don't know his name yet, but
he doesn't want me to say his name yet until he comes on the interview.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that, and I'll see you up at the card show here in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
What is it, 2 weeks from now? 3 weeks?
2 weeks from now, yeah.
2 weeks? Yeah. So yeah, I'll see you up there. I'm gonna be up there this time. I wasn't able to make the last two just busy and all that stuff. I know I text you every time like, hey, I just ain't gonna make it this time. But yeah, I'll definitely see you. Is Danny gonna be there this time too, or?
Yeah, Danny is going to this show. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely be up there, and can't wait to speak with y'all up there. Maybe I'll see Carl Miller up there.
Carl will probably be there.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to meet up with him at the last one, but I think he was going on a Friday.
He had to go on a Friday.
I usually go on Saturday or Sunday, so yeah. So I was like, I just can't get there on Friday. I work too. By the time I get off and then try to drive out there through all that traffic and everything, it's crazy. So
yeah, Carl came on a Friday because he was taking a vacation day that day.
Yeah.
But yeah, he normally comes on the weekend too. So all right, man. Well, I appreciate the interview and getting an update. I appreciate you coming on,
man. I'll definitely get this put up on YouTube and send it over to you so you can do whatever you want with it. Put it in the group or on your page, your website, whatnot.
Yeah, we'll put it. Yeah.
So
we can do that.
All right, man.
All right, man.
You have a good one, brother. All right, you too, man.
All right. Later
Thanks
on.
a lot. Bye.
Bye.